Were you one of those people that had a fun D&D experience as a kid? Nice. Me too. Let's take those childhood memories and add a creepy 46-year-old man who's trying to get the young players to act out his fetishes for him. Obvious trigger warnings for pedo stuff as these kids are 11 and 12. Sponsor time. The City of Mist, where ordinary people in a modern city become new incarnations of old myths and legends. This setting takes what's great about old world sword and sorcery and carries it into a world like ours. If you want the short of it, think if your favorite fantasy IP fusion danced with the classic noir detective genre. Then, drown it in glowing neon aesthetics. The game focuses on your crew's search for answers in a city that seems to shroud everything in false appearances, as well as the struggle between your character's normal life and the legend growing inside of them. As much as the setting is modern, the old legends of dragons and knights never truly died. Make your own character with unique superpowers and explore a city with your friends, solving mysteries. The setting is new and cool, the gameplay is easy to learn, and the best part, it's all on a huge sale right now. Save up to 50% off of City of Mist bundles all month during their extended holiday sale. Go check it out. See you there. I'm almost 19 now, but at the time I was 12 and I'm trans. I still wasn't out, and even after coming out, he still saw me as a sister, so in the title I'm referring to myself with she, her, but I go by he, him in my language and they, them in English. Anyways. My brother, who we will call Butter, was 11, and my stepbrother Roy was 46. My stepbrother entered our lives just some months prior when our dad passed away. We contacted him, since he didn't even know of our existence, to tell him what happened and that the funeral was taking place in our city. I'm telling you this because I think it's important to know that we were basically strangers to each other. I was a huge nerd and still am at the time, and he was trying to make me like him. So he introduced me to D&D. It wasn't real D&D, it was a reinvented version made by him, cause, I don't know, he probably thought we were too stupid to understand. Basically, the only characteristics we had were intelligence, but it worked as wisdom, strength, constitution, knowledge, dexterity, and swimming. And the scores could only go up to 5. We had 10 points and we would place them wherever we wanted, except for Constitution. He would decide our Constitution based on our weight and height, and that was our ability to take a hit. No HP, no initiative, no spell slots, no spells, nothing. He would make us throw 2d6 and decide if we did what we were trying to do. But if our strength was 1 and what we were trying to do was for someone with a strength 2, he wouldn't make us even try. I'm explaining this to you cause later you will need it to understand. Wow, this one's hitting me right in the childhood. I started with 4th edition and couldn't understand it on my own as I was like 12. So with no one to teach me, I just took the dice and made my own easy system that sounds kinda similar to this. Except the only stats were strength, dex, intelligence, health, and AC. Take some notes whenever you make up a niche skill or ability and boom, easy system. It wasn't a good system, but as a kid running a game with other kids, it was good enough to keep us entertained for a few years until 5e dropped into our lives. Anyways, sorry for the rant, consider this me seasoning the pot with exquisite ingredients before we dump a load of garbage into it. Roll post. The first time we played, it was me, Butter, Roy, and my mom. He never explained to us what races we could play, and classes didn't exist, so I really liked elves. I asked to play an elf who was the daughter of a great cleric, and was traveling the world to spread the word of her god and at the same time learn about nature. I got a really low con, obviously, by being tall and slim. It must be said that Roy only liked the big strong type of characters and really hated elves. Butter and Mom played 2 dwarf siblings who just really wanted to go on an adventure. They both had really high constitution. The first session was fun. I didn't really like not being able to do a lot of strength-based action, but my character was more the athletic type of character, so I had fun anyway. The second session is when everything started to go south. My mom was like, "Funny, yes, but I need to work. Go play with your friends." So we did. I called my best friend Abby, and Butter called his 3 best friends Jake, Josh, and John. Jake played a really old human wizard, and even if I didn't like Jake normally, he was really funny at the table, and his character was useless but fun to play with. John played a wizard too, but he wanted to be a half-elf, so he gained the dislike of Roy. Josh played a human who loved adventures and fights and loved his sword to the point of talking to it. I know what you're thinking right now, audience. Aw, cute, wholesome kids playing D&D. We've all been there. Some of my best memories are playing a dysfunctional game of D&D with my siblings as a young crab. Now, take those fond memories and add a 46-year-old step-sibling with more issues than Time magazine. This is all gonna go to shit, roll post. And then, we had Abby. Oh boy, you are not ready for it. Abby. Hey, Roy, if I can be anything, can I be an angel? No. Oh, can I have wings then? Sure, but it will cost you all of your 10 points. Me. Wait, Roy, that's not fair. Can't she just have a lower con since her body is made to fly and light? No. I guess it's okay. I can fly, so I'll have an advantage. Me. I can be your warrior. I'll protect you, don't worry. We started playing and we all started chained up to a wall. The chains were connected to a hook in the wall, so my character just had to jump around a bit since she was tall, and then freed herself and the others. We found our lost weapons. That was a bow for me and a hammer for Butter. And Butter broke the chains. We tried to escape the dungeon we were in, and a fight with 4 human NPCs started. John used a fireball, even if at the time we didn't call it that. We managed to get out alive, but 3 things happened. John burned his hand since he made a, quote, critical fail using fireball, so now he had to be careful when using magic from that hand. Abby's wings burned, and Roy decided that I was the closest to the explosion, so my armor became incandescent, and he decided that I had to take it off. A lot of my clothes burned too. We were not exactly happy, but it was Josh's fault technically, and at least we didn't die. From then on, he would accentuate how my character was a pretty woman and was practically naked. He would describe in every single detail he could think of the body of my character and ask every character how they felt about it, especially my brother, Roy. Butter, your character is a dwarf who enjoys beer and women. She obviously catches your attention. What do you want to do? Butter, don't you do it! Don't you dare do what he's implying you do! I'm actually worried about OP's safety in this scenario. This man is, what did OP say? 46 years old, trying to coax a preteen boy into scandalous acts with his sister over a game of D&D? This stepbro porn parody sucks. Roll post. My brother obviously ignored him because he wasn't going to RP a sex scene with his sister, and he was 11 anyway. But he kept asking and asking until Josh made a sexual joke about me and we continued playing. We had another encounter with some NPC. This time, Abby obviously didn't know what to do. She couldn't fight, she couldn't fly. What was she meant to do? So she took a long time thinking. Roy, you have 10 seconds to tell me what she does. I don't know, it's the first time I played and I can't even run away. I wouldn't be fast enough, you said. Okay then, your character starts feeling a terrible pain in her stomach. It's like something is moving inside of it. She starts coughing blood, kneels to the ground, and falls dead. Yeah, yes, you did read that right. Roy killed her character because she was taking too long. The second thing that happened at the end of that fight was Josh tripping and falling on me. I don't remember how it happened. Roy's comment was, "Finally, someone who acts like a man when a half-naked girl is around." How is he getting worse? How does it get worse than what we had before? What is so striking to me about this story is how seamlessly this post blends genuine, terrifying, borderline pedophilic implications with just poor DMing and bad playstyle. It almost feels weird reading about these awful acts mixed right in with the DM just being a bad host and making dumb in-game calls. But for what it's worth, he not only sucks as a person, but as a DM and even fails at existing around children in a decent manner. 1 second this post goes from, he killed a player without so much as a save, bad DM, and the very next second he's describing sexualizing a prepubescent kid. Wild. Anyways, onward to the thrilling, climactic conclusion, roll post. Me. I don't want to play anymore. I think my character will get up, look at the situation, look in horror at the body of Abby's character, and say, this was ammunition from the gods. This party is obviously a party of sinners. Even if we won this fight, I will never fight side to side with somebody who angers the gods. This is a goodbye. Roy. Yes, you try to do that, but while you speak, a pack of wolves comes out, and one of them eats you. Me. Good, so at least she doesn't have to walk home. And that was the end for me. I tried playing again with them sometimes, but the same thing happened every time. He would sexualize me, encourage other players to sexually harass me, and then kill me in some humiliating and stupid way. In the end, I stopped playing and years passed. I then learned the rules of 3.5, but I didn't have anyone to play with, so I just read other people's stories online. Oh, relatable. One day, a year ago, I made some new friends and they made me join their group. Best decision I have ever made. The DM was kind to me from the start. He understood that I had some problems with D&D because of that experience leaving some scars on me, and explained 5th edition. I had the pleasure to play with a lot of other DMs, but I'm still convinced this DM is one of the best I've ever had and still play with. But the story of Roy isn't over yet. He found out this DM I'm playing with and his fantastic campaign, and he started bashing my character and insulting me for playing a male who is not strong and manly. But it's not my fault. I'm obvious I didn't make him manly. I should only play female characters. End quote. In the summer, Roy comes out to visit us and stays at our house, so every week when I was playing, he would interrupt. We play online, and unplug my PC. If I was playing on my phone or my laptop, he would take them from me and physically bully me until I gave up and told my friends I wouldn't play for some months. He then admitted that he was trying to make them kick me out of the campaign. Okay, I doubt it's news to you that he's seriously screwed in the head, but at this point I think there's more rot than brain in that cracked skull of his. Not only is he a 46-year-old adult man starting a game with these kids, but he's failing in every single respect while being much worse than the traditional creep. The remainder of this story is shorter than the kids he's attracted to. Roll post. I moved out eventually and I now can play happily with my friends again. Anyway, shout out to my DM, the best person I have ever played with and was always kind to me even when I disappeared from the game for months. TLDR, DM explains a strange version of D&D to his siblings just to bully those who don't play how he wants. He sexualizes his 12-year-old sister, and after years, when his sister found the strength to play again, he bullies her and prevents her from playing so she would be kicked out. This is something I really want to talk about. This is relevant to you too. This is a message to all DMs and players out there listening right now. You may never know what someone else at your table is going through, or has gone through even. If you're one of those people that's looking for ways to improve other people's lives, being a good D&D friend is probably the easiest way to ensure it, especially if someone has had a terrible, rightfully traumatizing experience at the table and has the bravery to come back. The good DM mentioned has all of the commendation I can offer. DMs, be like this guy, but players listen up too. Just because the DM is the most responsible for the welfare of the game does not mean that you can't help too. Roleplay in a way that brings the new player in. Make a point to include them in discussions and make them feel awesome. Experienced players like me understand how awesome it is when they're recognized by their party members and not only the DM. So why not make it happen? In your next game, make a point to put the spotlight on another player for something funny or cool that they do. That's all I have for today. Till next time.